All right, we're here. We're live. It's Friday the 13th. It's the storm of the century or decade. Probably the decade right now for Summit County. Anyways, if you guys got snowboard questions, put them over in the live chat and I will try to answer them as fast as possible. Hopefully the connection is solid. I know we're in a bit of a snowstorm up here, so it might cut out, but I've got it hardwired right now. Anyways, going to dive into the first question from D. Goldman 973. Would you rather ride a Gilson or B, any board of your choice, but wearing a ninja suit full of bees? I'll take the ninja suit full of bees, and I'm allergic to bees, so I'll probably die. So that ought to tell you what comes first right there. I would rather die than ride a Gilson. So, which everyone and their brother lately has been on this kick about asking me about Gilsons. Like my opinion's gonna fucking change. They fucking suck. The boards are built like shit. Literally built like shit. So I don't understand why everyone would think that I'm going to keep those going. Ugh. All right. Damien Kyle. Won't be able to be here for live show, but love the content. Looking for a replacement for DOA. Want something I can party around the whole mountain with little to no park and be loose, unlike the DOA. So you want a really soft jib stick? Check out the Rome Blackjack. If you want something really soft and playful like that, any of those, maybe even a K2 Worldwide Weapon. Dweezy, when is the Can Kevin Carve It banana hammock coming out? That will be the second to the last video. And there are a grip more coming, so that will be there. Surprisingly, the banana hammock actually wasn't the worst board that we rode for that. So we got a couple of ASIMs that we set up weird coming up. The worst powder board I've ever ridden. That's coming as well. Samuel, why the hell is it so hard to pop off my 2018 Stump Ape? It has C2X camber because you're not getting the load that you want. Because you're probably either you don't know how to load that camber profile. 2, you need traditional full camber in there. Or 3, it's just so soggy that it doesn't do what you want. Johnny Crook, anywhere affordable to live and ride in Colorado? Yes, Grand Junction. You can ride Powderhorn. So there. Yeah. Go to Powderhorn. All right. Great American Buffalo. So I was trying to decide between flying out to Park City or driving out and coming through a basin on the way back. Any good spots to hit on the way out? Depends which way you're coming out and what pass you have. If you're coming across the plains and you're going to go through 70 and whatnot, you could hit a basin, and then you've got all the Summit County resorts. And then if you're driving across, you could stop at Aspen, Snowmass, hit Powderhorn in Grand Junction. Then you hit Utah. You got the Utah resorts going up to Park City. Then if you're at Park City, you're only 45 minutes from Pow Mau, and it would totally be worth it to go hit Pow Mau. So yeah, there you go. White Baker, if you had to recommend a twin deck that slays cliff drops for a park rat getting into powder drops, what would it be? I'd look at the Eric Jackson knife, the EJack knife from LibTech, or the Hot knife. You really want something. I mean, I don't know how big of a cliff you're dropping. I always just assume when people say cliffs, 20 feet or more. So you could look at those two right there. Otherwise, let's see what else is out there. You might no, that's not going to be good. Let's see. You could probably do a Twin Pig from Ride, although I don't really care for that board all too much. I think the Super Pig's better. Jones Mountain Twin comes to mind as well. You could do the Capita Mercury or even the Capita Kazu, although the Kazu is fucking aggressive. Joseph Mellolin. Red Dead boards for 2020. Did a top 5 of those already, bud. It's out. Go look at it. It's in the list. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got. Super chat from Jack Ripper. Yo, yo, yo. That's a lot of yo's. That's a lot of yo's. Let's see. Kale Mitchell, thoughts on Outdoor Masters and other shit goggles? Well, I got approached by 2 more shit goggle companies, so I gave them my address and told them to send them to me. That'll probably bring me up, I think, to like 10 pairs of shit goggles. I'm going to rip them all apart in a video. Like, I think Kevin and I are going to sit down and just fucking trash them and show how garbage they are. I'm trying to figure out what laser I need that actually shows the UV protection in there. I know if I take a laser pointer, I can show distortion through a lens, but I can't. I'm trying to figure out which one shows how crap the UV coat is. But then again, the Outdoor Masters, I could cough on them and just rip the fucking UV spray on coat on them. Those things are such fucking garbage. So yeah. Bottles and Cork, I'm wearing my Angry Snowboard jacket around Mammoth this weekend, and I've almost gotten into 11 fights. 11? Those are rookie numbers, man. You got to up those numbers. I want to see like triple digits. Triple digits. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Okay. Trevor Sender, have you seen that Jonathan Buckhouse is riding a No Bad Day blackboard? I got a lot of hate in the comments for suggesting he let you review it. I don't pay attention to him. I don't follow him. I see him on the mountain. He'll come over and say hi to me. I'll be like, what's up, Buckhouse? That's it. I don't pay attention. He wants to ride that turd of a board. That's on him. I've been seeing so many of those fucking things from coaches because it's Grand Prix week at Copper riding them, which tells me that they got them for fucking free or $100. And if you're a coach and you have to ride $100 board because you're poor, you're not a good coach. Let's see. What do we got? Michael Anderson, when did you last get in a fight on the hill? 3 weeks ago at a basin. And I fucking almost pushed some kook into the chair. So, yeah. Oh, let's see. What else we got going on here? Let's see what else is going on. Trick, Ultimate Japan powder board, no holds barred powder only. Endeavour Archetype, baby. Rode that today. You got to appreciate that they reported 7 inches overnight when they checked the snow stake at 5 a.m. Between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m., the snow stake was at 10 inches. By the time I hit the parking lot at 9, they'd probably gotten another 3. It snowed all day. I discovered a little hack that got me up before everyone else on the mountain today, and I was able to get 4th run down the race course at Copper, which they'd pulled the fences down, and it was 2 fucking feet deep, 2,000 vertical of POW, and I was riding the Archetype, and that thing just fucking crushed it. Every time I get on that board, it always blows me away with how versatile it is and how awesome that thing is to truly ride. So that is like the ultimate Japan powder board. That'll probably be, even though I get to test a lot of powder boards, that'll still probably always be my go-to powder board for everything. I'm going to really be upset when I blow that thing apart. Sean Buckley, looking at Arbor Westmark Camber or DC Ply, is the Westmark worth the extra cheddar? It's stiffer. So that's and it's a little wider, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, no, wait, take that back, because I usually ride the mid-wides. But you have a mid-wide option with the Westmark Camber. The other thing is you have a more blunt shape, and I feel that on the Westmark Camber, you've got a better sweet spot for locking into presses. It fights you more, and there's more rebound, but if you know how to press, you'll lock in and stay locked in a little bit better. Like, whereas the Ply, you can fold that board. Like, the Ply is a progression board. Yeah, it's a great board, don't get me wrong, for the price, but it's a progression board that you can blow past, whereas the Westmark, it just is a little bit stiffer and it's a little more aggressive. Plus, you also get grip tech with it, so you're going to have a little added contact right underfoot, so it does have a better side cut, in my opinion. Let's see what got on. Ryan Cass, how was the Super DOA? That was a different ride for sure. Very, very different ride. If you're a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP, the review is actually up over there in written form. I was hoping to get it edited this weekend, but we're having the storm of the century out here, so I'm going to ride for the next 4 days. Then Tuesday, I'm going to try to edit it. Then Wednesday, I'm gone for 10 days. So that, but the Super DOA, I feel like they shouldn't have slapped the DOA name on it because it's a separate entity of a board. But that board is, whew, it was like riding a Jones Ultra Mountain Twin or an Ultra Aviator. That probably more like the Ultra Aviator is what it really compared to. Let's see. The Great Cadet. What are some good options for bindings to pair with the Endeavour Archetype? It really comes down to what you want, but I always find with the way the flex is on that board, you kind of want like that versatile all-mountain binding, so like a K2 Formula, a Burton Cartel. You could probably put a Ride Rodeo, which will be a little stiffer in the base plate. I actually don't have my Rome Black labels on that board, even though I tested them on that, which they matched up really well. But I'd say like maybe like the Rome DOD or the Katana. Let's see what else. The Now, I would probably go with like the Brigade or Pilot on there over the IPO or the Drive. Yeah. Let's see. Michael Anderson. Ever been to Alberta, Canada? Any plans to go? Plenty of POW already. I bought the Indy Pass. I know that Lake Louise, the big three, are on my icon. I did map out how much of a drive that is up to that neck of the woods. Don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but I don't know what I'm doing exactly in the month of February, but going to probably do a jumbo road trip, hopefully if funds allow. So, and if I do that, I'm going to try to meet up with people at all the different resorts that I can and go shred with people. So yeah, let's see what we got here. Oh, super chat from Michael Anderson. Thanks for the work. Well, thanks for the super chat, bud. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Jack Ripper, the new Kevin Carr fit is awesome. They get a lot better from here on out. This is when we get into the weird shit. So, like, we decided this year when we were filming it last spring, we decided that when we were filming them, though, that we were going to do a steady progression of normal into the weird versus normal, weird, normal, weird, normal, weird. And we were going to like slow burn it because it has driven people fucking insane all season with this, leading up to this, that we've done just kind of normal boards that you can carve on and everything. So now we're getting into the weird shit, and this is where you guys are going to really see if Kevin can actually carve it. Let's see what's going on. Zachary Bennett, why do you hate stormtroopers so much? They're just soulless clones enjoying the time they have. Because, man, the only reason they exist is to harvest their organs and bone marrow to prolong your life. You let them out of their goddamn little cell and they can run around and they might damage their organs and bone marrow. Then you can't harvest them and you can't prolong your life. So you need to just like not let them have any fun. Paul Porter, feelings on nitro bindings. Nitro actually makes some really highly underrated bindings. That airbag that they have in the base plate is probably one of the best dampening agents in a binding out there. What I don't like is that they added 3-degree canting to them, but their bindings are highly, highly underrated. Let's see what we got going on here. Mike Sierra, Uncle Avran, I'm off to Japan next week. I'm trying your stiff boots soft binding combo. Why do you like it? I'll be riding all mountain, POW, and park. Good, bad, disagree, agree. It's personal preference. So for me, for the longest time, I just wanted something, like I wanted more lateral flex with my binding with the way I was riding. And actually, I've changed it up this year and I've gone to top of the line Rome binding, and I'm still riding the Thraxis. So it's stiff on stiff pretty much, which gives me more power and drive, but less play, which I've realized my butters are more powerful this year with that. So that, but a lot of it's personal preference. But the good thing is in POW, with a stiff boot, you get such a quicker response toe to heel when you drive into that boot, same thing with the lateral play. If the fit's right, you're going to get more play. But then you're going to get that softer flex in the binding, which can let you surf. So you're going to be able to drive right into the binding, and then it's going to surf. So you're going to notice when you do like a layback, if you come up a bank and you're on your heel edge and you're just like trying to surf it back out, you're going to notice right away that it's going to be a little more easy to drive it like up onto the bank and get into that carve. And then you're going to notice how it softens up with the board. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Marco Purchase, you ever bored while flat out drunk? I ride better when I'm drunk. No, dude, that's fucking stupid. That is how you fucking hurt yourself or people. That shit pisses me off all the time. I do love the fact that Colorado will give you a DUI, though, if you are intoxicated on the hill and you hit someone. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. Chuck Van, my angry hoodie literally arrived this morning. Thanks, Avran. Stoked on it. Oh, I'm glad you got it, Chuck. Yeah. Stoked that those made it. I was hoping that those would all make it before Christmas, so it looks like that. Let's see. Paul Cummings, looking to replace an old typo. Thoughts on Endeavour Pioneer or Rome National? Fuck around board for small hill East Coast. Both of them will be solid. The National will be stiffer than your old typo. The Pioneer will probably be closer to it. In terms of like the thing that I like about the Pioneer was like the width of it. It's a little more stable than the National. The National is a little bit more lively. Both of them are solid choices. I'd go with whichever one you could get a better deal on, though. Wayne McKenzie with the super chat. Does your hoodies come in XXL and ships to Canada? They did ship to Canada. All of our orders ship international. I did have XXL, but we've pulled everything off the store right now. The hoodies didn't sell the way that I wanted them to the last run, so that was the Black Friday one. Yeah. Now let's see what's going on here. Powderhoon, thinking about getting a Mercury to place my Slash ATV. Any idea how they compare? Doesn't seem like you get to review many Slash boards. I haven't been on a Slash board since Nidecker was pressing them, and now they're like that independent company. But from what I remember from riding the ATV, it was way stiffer than the current Mercury. It felt way more dead, so it wasn't as lively. It was more of like just a damp, dead ride, where the Mercury is a little bit more lively and loose. So yeah. Kale Mitchell, best tip to hook up with rich tourist bitches. You get on Tinder. Well, first you got to have your Tinder. You get your Tinder. Second, what you got to do is you go to the nearest city that rents exotic cars. You drive up to said close resort where you're going, or any resort really, in the fall when the aspens are changing, and you get photos of you flexing with that car behind it, and like maybe something with you in the steering wheel, so that way they know you're driving it. That way they think you're rich. Also, when in doubt, buy a whole shitload of knockoff Gucci or Kiln or whatever shit, stuff like that, and wear that. John Omler, Bootfit 201 series in the pipe? No. I'm not even thinking that far ahead. I got to start thinking about getting the 2021 product here in the next like 3 weeks. I got to send out the big emails and start doing that. And I've already got companies approaching me. Like I got a phone call from Jay from Smoking at midnight last night. Fucking midnight. He decided to call me and leave me a voicemail. Thank God I didn't answer. It would have been an hour-long phone call. I was trying to sleep. It was a POW day today. Okay. Engine still got a mint DC Street. You mean Forum Street Dweller for Can Kevin Carvet? Oh my God, I would love to get a Forum Street Dweller in that. That thing would, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. J58, what size are your feet in centimeters? I found that the Thrax is size 10, comfortable and still tight, wondering if I did it wrong. Well, if it's comfortable and tight, that's a good fit because it's going to pack out and break in. If you haven't heat molded it yet, you could. So my feet are 2 different sizes. So my left is a 27.5, which is a 9.5. Well, actually, that's like a 27.75. And then my right is a 28.75. So I've got a full size difference between my right and my left due to collapsed arches. But so I squeeze into the 10 with my big foot. My left foot, it's got a little wiggle room in there, but it works. But if it's comfortable and tight, you're on the right track for a good boot. Brian Mullane, I saw a kid with a Ruroc in the parking lot today. I immediately called the law on his ass. What'd you do? Tell him it was an active shooter? Let's see. What else we got going on? Chris Kopczynski, do you think Billy Anderson's new company, Will Snowboards model, is a Yup board with a slightly different tail? Do you think you will demo one this year? It's not a Yup. It's probably the next progression of the Yup, which is funny because it started at Burton with the branch manager, then it went to Signal and it's the Yup, and now there's the Will boards, but they're wider. That's the difference. Like if you look at the specs from the Yup and the branch manager, they're wider, and they just have a radial side cut. If I remember correctly, I haven't reached out to Billy yet, but I plan on it as I get closer to getting the 2021 boards and getting all that stuff dialed in. Bottle and Cork, I saw some rockers with step-ins and icons last week at Bear. They took one run, falling all over each other, and left. I went to Monarch on Monday because it was the food donation drive. So you drop off some canned foods and you get a free lift ticket with my boy Brucey. And while we were in line, family, I shit you not, family of 4 with Ruroc, everything head to toe, including the crap-ass snowboards that they made. Yeah, the fucking overpriced snowboards that they made that were cap constructed. Yeah. So fucking these people are out there, man. They are fucking out there. Jack Ripper, what's a good binding to pair with the Nitro Dropout? I feel like a medium flex binding is something really good that goes with that. So I'd say like your Rome Katana DOD, you could probably do like the Ride Rodeo or Limited. Limited's got a few less options than the Rodeo on it. Burton Cartel, Malavita if you wanted to go a little softer. Union Force if you wanted it just to kind of do everything. Or I would put like a Contact Pro on there if you really wanted to get like super surfy and slashy with it. Zachary Bennett, any word on the Nitro Quiver Fury 2019? You have a good review, but the boards seem to die off. That's how it happens with some boards. Other shit comes out and takes its place. I mean, it's an okay board. I mean, there's better ASIM boards out there. It's a little stiffer than I would like personally, but I get who it's for. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Maxime Boucher. Hi, Avran. Which stiff bindings would you recommend for small feet? When you can adjust the heels. I tried some Nitro Phantom, but couldn't adjust and was too much on the heels. How small are we talking here, bud? Like, if you're below a 7, you might need to go to a women's binding. As far as stiff bindings, you can adjust the heel cup on. If you're ruling out Nitro, that leaves you with Rome, some rides, Drake, ugh, Tech 9, ugh. And I think that's kind of it for that. I'm really thinking about it. Or you got Union, yeah, as well. So that's kind of your options. Casey Rowland, are your indies your base test bindings or your favorite? They were my test and my favorite for years, but now I've switched over to Rome black labels. So I got 2 pairs of black labels, and I should be getting a 3rd, so then I'm set. For a while there, I rode my indies were basically gutted to be the old formulas with the way I designed. I pulled the straps off the formulas in the high back so that way it was a formula without the canting. But now that I've replaced them, I'm rocking just black labels for everything. Except today I did ride my indies because they were already mounted on my Endeavour. So yeah. Oh, let's see. Red 1676. What's a good binding for people who got size 15 boots? Friend got some biggest feet and needs help. He likes a stiffer binding and rides a war pig. Well, I know Ride has a binding that'll fit up to a size 16. And I know the large, extra larges from Rome might fit a 14. I don't know about a 15, though. Burton's, I think they make an XL that'll fit up to a 15, but I think you can only order those off the top or off their website. So hopefully that answers that question. Oh, let's see what we got going on. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Great American Buffalo. Beavers opens tomorrow. You're going to get some. Okay, so this is a fair warning for anyone coming up to A Basin. They opened Pally on Tuesday. I was there for the opening, got into the POW fields. There are a lot of shark fins underneath. Even though we've probably gotten close to 3 feet of snow, you're going to see that everyone's underestimating the storm, but we definitely got close to 3 feet of snow. There's going to be a lot of shark fins, so anything that's a rock patch, this weekend is going to be the weekend that everything gets packed down in anything that's wide open in Colorado, so just be prepared for that. I might go to the Basin tomorrow, but I'm thinking I'm probably just going to go back to Copper because I'm trying to pack down certain tree runs so that the rest of the season they'll be solid and I can hit the log jibs and stuff over there. So, yeah. Let's see. Taylor Willis, new party platter or Solomon Asmo 57 for tracked POW? It'd be the Asmo for that. So like the party platter with it going a little more freestyle focused and twin, it becomes more like a party board that's good at freestyle. I mean, it's still going to be decent in POW, but the Asmo is going to be like your straight POW killer. I mean, realistically, I'd rather ride something like an Orca for tracked out POW, something that's a little stiffer, or like a Super Pig, but that's just me. Paul Porter, $5 super chat. Keep running over fat skier kids. I find odd joy in this. I think everyone finds odd joy in this. Also, heard the greatest thing in the world from my old boss at the liquor store today during the POW day. Some guy almost ran into him. I mean, there was like 2 feet of POW at Breck. And he just straight stiff-armed him and pushed him right over. Some skier, I guess. He just like stiff-armed him full speed and just was like, boom. And my boss is not a little guy. He's like 250 pounds and been riding since 1986. So he knows how to haul ass and just drop people when he has to. And he just totally just was like, boom. And I find so much joy in that. Let's see. What do we got going on in here? Let's see what's going on here. I feel like I'm missing some questions. Tron, goddamn Instagram ads. It is your civic duty as snowboarders of the internet to report all shit products that advertise on Instagram. Report them all. By the way, I've gotten notification that we've gotten 3 ads pulled off in the last 2 weeks, so we're doing something right. Let's see what's going on. Man, you guys are talking about Rurocs big time. Eric Kim, do you know if the Imperial Chair will open after the storm? Heading to Breck Monday. I talked to Butch and Kevin. Kevin's the #1 ski patroller, head of ski patrol for Breckenridge yesterday, and I saw Butch, who used to be the #2, but he's kind of retired from it. He says everything is looking really good. I wouldn't rule it out, or if you show up, they might be blasting to get it ready. That's always the last to open on Breck usually, just because avalanche safety and stuff. This storm is going to be fucking catastrophic for anything exposed above tree line, though. I mean, we were getting like 2 inches an hour or 3 inches an hour at points today, and it wasn't even windy. Like, I was at the top of Copper, and it was only windy for like a half hour. The rest of the time, that storm was just like sitting on top, and it was just big, heavy flakes coming down. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Michael Anderson, any 2021 products you've heard about that you're excited for? I know that there's some big overhauls with like Yes and Jones that I really want to check out. Nidecker has a few things according to the rep, and I've seen the new Rosnell line. So there's a new board in the Rosnell line that I'm really curious to ride, which actually by the time I get back from New York, I might be able to pick that up from the rep. So and get out and ride that. So yeah, be real interesting. Ken Schulman, can Kevin carve a Mac board? Do they even make those fucking things anymore? I knew one person that had it, and he let his wife ride it at Keystone. She made it to she got off the gondola and just went right to the backside because it was a POW day, and they claimed it was a POW board. She made it to the bottom, unstrapped it, and walked out the access road, which is like 3 miles from the backside, and left the fucking thing there. She's like, fuck my bindings, fuck this thing, and just left it. So, yeah. Now, let's see. I think we're caught up on those. Let's see. Trevor R. GNU Fun Guy. I actually don't really know too much about the Fun Guy, unfortunately, but did Arthur Longo stop with his own board brand with his Model A Capita? I didn't even know he was trying to do his own board brand. I think he was just like, I thought he was just getting samples and blanks made for him because he didn't have a sponsor. And then he settled on Capita, or they gave him a good deal. So, yeah. Caravan, I just started snowboarding this season, and I'm trying to learn turns. What is the feedback through the board that I should be looking for to know I'm using my edge well? So the big thing with most beginners is like they try to steer from their like hips, and actually you steer with your ankle movement. So the big thing is knowing, like, what they try to do is that they bend at the knees and the hips, and then they just put all their weight and they roll forward and roll back, and that's why they wash out, versus the subtle differences of moving their feet around and understanding that you engage with the outside of your front foot. And then as you're going into the turn, so this leg bends and it'll move back like this. This leg is going to bend in towards the middle of the board and flex it from the center and then roll back on the outside. And that's how it's going to drive you out. A lot of it's muscle memory and a lot of it's trial and error. You're just going to eat shit a lot. I'm not going to lie. You're just going to eat shit a lot. Let's see. Frank 0020, I have a left front foot I broke the heel on. Years later, front ankle is weak. Should I get a shorter, softer board than charts recommend? That might help you on that. I would actually say try to do some PT exercises, maybe get yourself a balance board and some PT bands and kind of just work it that way, and that will hopefully help rehab it. I've got weak ankles. What I find works for me is actually a stiffer boot, something that really locks the ankle in and everything, and then from there I can compensate for everything else. Let's see where that question go. I just saw a good one. Oh, this is a good one from Maxime. Did you ever try a board you thought you were going to die on it? Not because it was garbage, but like too much for you. I've ridden some boards that I were definitely like too much for the average person. It's been a long time since there hasn't been anything that I was gonna die on because it was just too much board. Like usually I can make it work, but I think back to the day it was like I took out Smokin' Jay's custom like 170 something KT 22, like the first year he ever made it, and he put like an extra layer of fiberglass in it and more carbon in the tail. I took it out at Keystone, and I swear to God, I was hitting like 100 miles per hour through the flat section. Like Mountain State just like slow down. I was like, I can't hear you. Okay. Carly Elfie, what's your take on one-footed snowboard antics? I tried to do a Benihana the other day at Monarch. That didn't go well. I think it has its place. Like if you're fucking around and you're just having fun and you're showcasing that, it has its place. Like I think it's cool. It's a fun little trick. John Sutcliffe, isn't the Capita Arthur Longo just a Mercury with a bright colored graphic? Yes, and it only comes in a 157, which is really funny that I have a Mercury sitting right there. Water bottle. I was getting heckled by a 60-plus-year-old lift attendant at my local resort last weekend. He's 60-plus years old and a lift attendant. That man has no life. He's going to die soon. You should tell him to leave everything he owns to you. Let's see. Stephen Barons. When are we going to get to the Avran Carvet? Never. Never, Stephen. Never. Never. Ever. That's a Kevin thing. Let's see what we got going on here. I feel like I missed a good question up here. Bottled and cork. Avran, knee pain and stances. Narrow them down. It's probably old age, but I feel like I'm maybe a little wide. Bring it in about a half inch and drop your, if you've got like anything that's like a 15 or an 18 degree, drop it down one notch. So you like bring it in 3 degrees and that might change something. The other thing would be your footbeds. If you don't have good footbeds in there and good arch support, that can, because you can pronate or supinate, that can also cause problems with the knee pain. Either that or pop a 500 milligram ibuprofen before you ride. Let's see. Story 3333. Did you take it easy today knowing you have 2 more POW days in a row? No, I fucking sent it for the boys. I just cut out early. So, like, my thing is I'm not like most people when it's a POW day and they're like, I got to get it open to close. I'm like, all right, first chair. All right, it's noon. I'm getting tacos and going home. So, yeah. Let's see. Red 1676. Can Kevin carve it dual boards? No, those are sideways fucking ski blades. We're not doing that. Matt Brown, do you find photoreactive lenses usable in foggy or heavy snow? I'm actually picking up a set of Luma lenses from a friend from Dragon, so I'll find out soon enough because typically I have like 5 pairs of goggles, so when I show up in the parking lot, I just take it out of my backpack and figure out which lens is going to fit me the best for that day, and I go. Luke TRC, should we be running over rear rock riders alongside fat little skier kids? What you need to do, actually, is ride by the fat little skier kid and grab their pole because they're not going to let go of it. Slingshot them into the rear rock riders, and it's human bowling, and then you take them out, and it's a 2-for-1. It's 2 birds, 1 stone right there. Let's see. Taylor Willis, thoughts on Solomon Shadow Fit binding? So we've got a review of the Highlander and the Quantum coming. I got them uploaded on the desktop. I just got to finish editing. I was hoping to get them done this weekend so I can just drop like a ton of binding reviews before I go on vacation. It has its place. Like Shadow Fit has its place with certain riders. It's not for me. I don't like how you lose that power off your heel when you drive into it. But if you're like riding POW and you just want something where you can really just kind of minimally adjust how you're hitting things, it makes a lot of sense. I also think there's an explained video in that playlist on Shadow Fit, so you can always check that out too. Let's see. Gene Graves, what's the deal with those Solomon helmets with the built-in goggles? Are you talking like the flip-down fucking visor ones? Those are for old people. Like, literally for old people. Like, that's it. Oh, let's see. What else we got going on here? Brandon Adkins with the super chat. It's a little something. Sure. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see what's going on. I think we caught up on those questions. What do we got going on down here? Brandon Adkins. My buddy bought a POS Lamar mission board off Craigslist because it came with mission bindings and boots that fit, supposedly. Couldn't be more disappointed. Hey, if the boots fit and the bindings work for him, that could be a come up. Just tell him to burn the snowboard and sacrifice it to the snow gods. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Zachary Bennett, ever ride a Snurf? Yeah, I rode one once. It's not for me. I don't like that POW surfing thing. It's just not my cup of tea. T. Espo, just bought a Battalion Party Wave. Rock on, dude. That's an awesome party board. Paul Porter, any tips on adjusting to changing snow conditions throughout the day? You got to remember, like, as the day goes on, you're also getting more tired. So as you get more tired, if the conditions are getting worse and worse, call it before you fucking hurt yourself. There's no reason to push your limits. It's not worth it to doing that. So the big thing is like it kind of depends. Like right now in the season, it's like if it's a POW day, it's going to be great. Then it goes to crap. And then in the spring, you got like this fucking shit where it's like frozen hard and crappy and crusty in the morning. Then it turns into soft slush and chunder, and it's awesome in the afternoon. So, you know, you kind of just – you got to roll with the punches. The more you ride, though, the more you get used to variable conditions. Joe Goldman, the only week I can get to the mountain is first week of April because of work. Husband says Banff. What's your opinion? I've never been. Hear great things. Usually April, first week of April is a safe bet for most places because like either spring break has just ended or it's right before it starts. Steve McFall, where's the best pizza in Dillon Silverstone? There is none. It is crap. It is all garbage on that side of the fucking lake. Garbage. Fucking garbage. Then again, Summit County really has shit pizza. Like, honestly, there's no good pizza. Like, you want the best pizza in Dillon Silverthorne? There's this place called City Market. Now, what you want to do is go in there to the frozen pizza aisle. Get yourself, like, a solid California Pizza Kitchen, maybe a Red Baron, maybe a DiGiorno. That's going to be better than anything you find on that side of the fucking lake. Churning Park, how do you know when to P-Tex your board? When it looks like shit and like a giant mountain lion clawed it and it's slow and grippy and grabby. I actually got 2 that I need to fill soon. I'm going to do a video on P-Texing. So, yeah. Great American Buffalo. What bindings are the easiest to get out of to get in a fight? Well, that would be step-ons. And then you also got to beef your boots. So if you drop kick them, you're going to, you know, you got a little more girth in there for it. Personally, I opt for the non-unstrapping. So they never expect you when they're standing there to just tackle them with your shit still on. And then when you do, you get your knees into your stomach and you bend your knees and you start chopping into their leg with your board. So that way you're just hitting them right below the knees and it's fucking their legs up and they're screaming and shit. And you're on top of them anyways. You've already got them pinned and then you're just pimp slapping them with their own hands. You're like holding them. Like, why are you hitting yourself while you're still bending your knees and chopping into their legs? It's a great defense. Check Ripper, we need a snowboard reviewer boxing match. You versus the Good Ride dude. At the rate that I go to the gym and my friends that train MMA and stuff like that, if that was a legit thing, I would destroy that butterball. That guy, he's got a bad shoulder. I'd go right for the shoulder first thing. Try to rip that thing right out of the socket, which would probably pull his neck out of alignment, and then I'd just throat punch him. Red 1676. I've been banned from Rurok's Facebook advertisement page BS for making retarded should have been aborted Power Ranger comments. I feel like I've achieved something. They banned you. You're doing well. Oh, let's see. Frank 0020 with the $2 super chat. Thanks, bud. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay. I think we're caught up on those questions. What do we got down here? Chuck Fan, are you going to do another massive podcast to overview the next season's products again, or go about it a different way? By the end of the last one, could see you and Kevin Dine. Well, we started that podcast, I think, at like 10:30 or 11, and we didn't finish till like 2 or 3 in the morning, just because of the way our schedules were. This would be, if we did it, we're trying to figure out different things. Now that I'm not working a legit job, I can give up days to do stuff. Not sure what we're going to do this year. I'm not even sure if I'm going to the trade show or not. I think I should. It's one of those things. I don't know how we want to do it. Like, we're constantly evolving how we do everything. And that's kind of it. Let's see. S2000 guy. Are those mini edge sharpeners any good for cleaning up some surface rust and sharpening the metal up a bit? Yeah, I mean, they work. Don't go overkill with them because you can fuck your edges up with them. Like 1 or 2 passes will get you where you need to be for most people. Let's see. Water bottle. I also want to see our Kevin versus Kevin of Snowboard Pro. Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp's got like 1.5 feet on Kevin. Kevin's just a little guy compared to him. That's not even a fair fight. That'd be like Abe Lincoln fighting Mahatma Gandhi. That arm reach of just alone is going to crush Kevin. My Kevin, not other Kevin. Let's see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Carly Elfie, if Ruroc was to sponsor you and pay you, how much cash would it take to eat your ego? It wouldn't. I won't do it. It's just, there's not enough money that they could put in front of me. It's not worth it for me. My little brother Pat is he's a skier, and he's working on something with Tanner Hall and him, and they're working on a deal, I think, with Ruroc, paying for like some web series or something. He took the money and he's just like, I'm not wearing the face mask helmet. So yeah. Joe Stazzoni, what board from the Yes line should I be looking at for 2021? I've been riding the crap out of the basic and I love it. If you've been on the basic and you're looking to upgrade, the NSB or the NBS, the new basic snowboard, is the next like big brother logical progression, but I'd say probably go to the Typo instead, although the Jackpot is super sick as well. Let's see. Super chat from Nick Bergecker. Lago snowboards made where shred stick any good for the price? Thanks. So they're made at GP87 in China. The board designer for Lago is Eric Luthart, who has designed a lot of phenomenal boards. The boards are super quality. I haven't been on the new shred stick yet. I actually got to reach out to Scotty and try to get one. But I was talking to Casey about it, and he says it's sick. And Casey can rip. Doesn't know a lot of technical stuff in and out, but spec-wise, that board looks phenomenal. So, I mean, I think for the price, you're getting a great deal. Phil Wang, how did you like Monarch? It was your first time. Dude, Monarch was sick. So, and no one knows how to ride down there. It was so weird because there was like so much sick shit, and like people would just go around it, so you could just all day. Like, I only got one run where I would consider it like really tracked out, and everyone down there was saying it was the busiest day they've ever experienced. And I was like, I didn't wait in line more than like 2 minutes, and that's with it like stopping. Monarch was fucking super sick. Definitely gonna go back. The best way I can describe it, it was like riding Brighton in Utah, but with a little less steep on it, and a lot more people that do not know how to shred. So, yeah. Tron, you and Casey, my two favorite creators, polar opposites to keep the yin and the yang. Yeah, no, Casey and I are on 2 different wavelengths, but we're good friends. Like, I don't think people realize, like, I've known Casey for oh shit, probably almost 10 years now. You know, I mean, I knew him when he was like young Casey and shit. And yeah, I'm stoked to see what he's doing. Like, I'm super stoked that he's found a way to make money at snowboarding and get to do what he wants to do and shit. And it's rad. Ugh. Sean Sheeling, the mac and cheese at the Basic Copper is garbage. It's fucking shit mac and cheese. It's fucking like cheese whiz poured over noodles. Anytime I've looked at it, it's not real mac and cheese. That's like plastic mac and cheese. That's like eating fucking Velveeta, dude. Don't, ugh. No. If you're at Copper, Mahi's tacos, but you want to get there early because they get stressed out, and when they get stressed out, they don't cook as well. So that's pretty solid, and that's that, or else you go over to Mulligan's and you give Brucey shit when he's behind the bar, and you get the chicken tenders and fries, and you throw the fries at Bruce. Let's see. Let's see. Wayne McKenzie with the super chat. Got some beginner butter practice. So when you're just starting out, and you're like, most people can't actually pop into anything. So what you want to do when you're riding along is learn how to roll your board. So when you're flat basing, you roll a little forward, putting your weight on your front knee, and then you roll back and put all the weight on the back foot on the outside and get up on the tail. Once you do that, just do a straight run and try to hold it for as long as you can. And just go as far as you can holding it. And after you get comfortable doing that, start doing that and then trying to turn on your back foot while you're on your tail and see how far you can do it. And then after you get that, instead of rolling back, learn how to pop and land on your tail and lock it into that. And then from there, start trying to do that on your nose. Let's see. Brandon Edkins, fuck, marry, kill. Dinos, yes, ride. Okay, so I'm gonna fuck dinos because that's gonna be fun. They're like the crazy hairstylist chick that you all know who's super hot and has fake tits, but she's batshit insane from all the chemicals that she's around all day. So she's gonna be fun. And so that's dinos right there. I'd marry, yes. I feel like I could have a lot of fun with that. Unfortunately, ride's got to die. I just don't like their bindings. Michael Anderson, your little brother is a skier. You disappointed? He's not my real little brother, so it's all the good. No, Pat. I inherited Pat many years ago, like probably 11 or 12 years ago. I moved in with my friend Tyler here in Brock, and I showed up, and there's this guy sleeping on the couch, and he's like, "That's Pat. He's your problem now," and that was it. And Pat didn't leave for 5 years. He might disappear for 3, 4, 5 months, but then one day you'd come home, the door would be locked. I don't even know how he got in, but he'd be in there. The door would still be locked, and he'd be sleeping on the couch, and all the food would be gone, and all the hot water would be empty, and the toilet would be running, and the seat would be up, and there might be pee on it. But that was Pat. So, but he's a good dude. I love Pat. He's amazing. So, yeah. Oh, let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. Mike Sierra, are you going to do a review on a Good Ride review? I have an idea for a top 25 for everything that Good Ride does wrong. And Kevin and I actually talked about green screening ourselves in reviewing other people's reviews. I just got to figure out how we want to cut and edit it in there with stuff. I got to talk. I'm trying to pick up a new editor that'll handle stuff, so my workload will be less. The idea eventually is to do review of reviews, just because I've done reviews for so long. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. The Huggy Bear 516. What happened to Intergalactic Space Jesus? He's still around, and there is still some stuff filmed with him, and we're probably going to film some more stuff. He will probably make some cameos here or there, and we might do a sticker and a T-shirt with him down the road. It's one of those things, like, we got a little more serious with reviews this year, and I kind of want to go back to being a little more silly. I think a lot of it was just like figuring out this YouTube thing and like how to balance it to take it to the next level. Like, my goal is right now, I'm one of the lower people on the YouTube platform for subscriber count, but my view counts are fucking solid and my interactions are amazing, and like I get more time on a video than most people. When I audit everyone else and I like look at it, it's so funny because they'll have like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 100, couple 100,000 more subscribers than me. But like the monetary value and stuff that we bring is there. So I really want to kind of explore like the options. I'm still trying to figure out like what direction we're going in with everything. But once I figure out like where we need to go, you'll start seeing more stuff. Let's see what else we got going on here. Kyle Buying, thanks for making all the videos. Love the content. Looking for a directional deck with good edge hold. Thinking about the Yes Pick Your Line. Any suggestions? So the Yes Pick Your Line is super solid. If you're really looking for good edge hold, you could do the Jones Flagship or the Ultra Flagship, the GNU Mueller, or the Swiss Knife as well if you want something with magnet traction. I also think that Niche is completely underrated with their edge hold on their boards. Like, the Story is really solid. The Maelstrom is super solid. Actually, the Maelstrom is an amazing board that just is not getting enough love like it should. So, yeah. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what else. I think we're caught up on those questions. Paul Cummins, speaking of reviews, have you noticed people come to you for legit advice after others ride or review on the web? That's kind of how it's always been for the last 11 years. So just so everyone understands, like, Angry Snowboarder is 11 years, but before Angry, I was working with Snowboard.com when it was like a social media site, not the current iteration where it's like a bunch of Aussies. And I don't even know if they're still doing any. Actually, I know they're not doing anything. But I've been writing online reviews since I was about 21, and I'm 37. So I have the most experience, and I have like the deepest wealth of knowledge to pull from. So for me to just reach into the well and be like, oh, yeah, you're talking about a board from 2006. I sold the shit out of those things in 2006. I can tell you about it. Yeah, it's different. What I find that I do more than anything is I'm here to just give people validation on their purchases. Like, that's really what I'm here for. It's just so funny to me to know that, like, back in the day when I was doing online reviews for snowboard.com, I used to have to just go to demos, and I was working in a shop and take them from the shop, and it was like current year stuff, and I was putting them out in the spring, and it was like the end of the year. So then the next year I'd be like, well, nothing changed in the board and shit, and wasn't doing that. And then I spent probably the first 4 years of Angry Snowboarder kind of doing it that way, 4 or 5 years. And I had to go talk to companies and explain to them that the internet was going to be the future. And it was, no, this has never happened. Shop people are going to be the ones selling it. And it's funny to be at a position now where shop people are actually coming to me to help them sell boards. Like, they'll hit me up and be like, hey, what do you think about this and this? And I'll be like, well, this is what you need to know when you're selling it, and this and that. And I try to answer everyone's questions. And that's the hard thing, is like, I devote like 2-3 hours a day just answering questions, which is fucking crazy to think. So, but it's so weird to me to see all these people that have come in after me and how easy they have it. And then they get all butthurt with me. And I'm just like, you don't even understand. Like, you wouldn't exist. You wouldn't have that opportunity if it wasn't for me. Like, I had to go and prove the viability of it. And now you just show up and like, you have all these tools to make money. And I was over here like fucking living on $30 a month for food. Let's see what else we got going on here. Stephen Barons, hit my first 3 yesterday and had no problems. Couldn't land one today no matter what. Any recommendations on improving my air presence? You got to get on a diet, Stephen. You're a little bit big. You tell Anita I told you need to go on a diet. then the other thing is you just need more practice in it. The more you do it, the more you'll develop the muscle memory and stuff like that. The other thing is you were trying to do threes and land into POW. Landing into POW is not like landing on a groomer or anything like that. It is the hardest thing in the world to land into, and it's so different because when that snow gives away, you don't have like that hard surface where you know you're going to land, be able to catch your edge and ride away. You're like still spinning. That shit's like going out of your way. So yeah, that's my advice. Let's see. Zachary Bennett, 4x4 versus all-wheel drive for mountain towns. It depends on what you have. So I've got a Volvo with all-wheel drive, and while I like my car, I feel that the all-wheel drive system with the limited slip differentials that it has for winter driving mode as well as traction control aren't as solid as, say, like an Audi with the Quattro system. Subarus, what they got going on now, I feel like the new Subarus are kind of junk. 4x4, it works depending who it is and what it is. But like if you've got a truck and you got four-wheel drive and you engage it, but you have no weight in the back, you've just got this four-wheel drive, so you got your ass end that's still going to slide out. I see people all the time with no weight in the back of their truck, so it just doesn't have the grip that it actually needs. Let's see. Cale Mitchell, biggest regret in life. Everything I've done. Oh my God, I have so many regrets. My life is just a series of regrets. I do shit and then I go, why the fuck did I do that? Like I'm trying to get a dog now and I'm sitting here going, I can't wait to get this dog, and then like 6 months in be like, what the fuck did I get myself into? I bought a puppy. Oh my God, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. It's like the Volvo. I love the Volvo that I got. But every now and then I'm like, when I look at the repair bill, I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Why did I do this? No, I try to live with no regrets. Like I made those decisions. I just got to move on. I look forward to what's going on. Until then, water bottle. Still waiting for the John Cena corn merch and board. So here's the problem with John Cena corn. If I make merchandise, I have to change the likeness of it from John Cena. Otherwise, I can be sued by the WWE for trademark infringement, as well as John Cena himself. So I have to basically, I've got to get another Cena action figure, repaint the Cena Nation thing on him, I have to change at least 51% of the outfit on it to take the photos to make it into the merchandise so that I don't get slapped with a cease and desist or fined for trademark infringement. So yeah, that's kind of the issue with John Cena corn. As far as snowboards go, I've got to talk with a few companies. Like it is something Kevin and I have talked about doing, and I'm not sure if it would be something where we would take pre-orders and then they would ship in the fall, or if I would just buy everything up front and then I could just leave them on the website and I'd ship them out. So I gotta look at that with people, but there is an idea. I've talked to a few brands like Marhar and Telos about doing collabs. The smaller companies are easier to do collabs with. Eventually, though, I would love to be like to cap it up and do like a Mercury collab. So it'd be like the Angry Mercury or the Angriest Simulator, something like that. I would love to do that. I think right now, even though I can see the influence I have on snowboarding and stuff, my numbers are not where the brands need me to be, like a lot of the bigger brands are to be, for them to really want to work with me, even though I've got the longevity of 11 years of doing this. So yeah. Ednan Fezlik, you're a legend. Just ordered the public therapy in a 54. Thanks for the advice on it earlier this week. The Stoke is all time. Dude, enjoy the board. Let me know how it rides, because I'm actually really curious. I've never ridden one. Yeah, so there. The Huggy Bear 516. Subarus for hipster chuds. Buy a Tacoma, son. Subarus are whack. They're too big. And Tacomas out here, like someone was selling a 2013 with 180K on it for like 28,000. They're overpriced out here. Like I could buy one anywhere else. That's why I actually bought the Volvo. The Volvo was listed at 28.9 on the lot, and I got out the door at 14.1 with it. And it was only almost 8 years old when I bought it. And it had 116,000 miles on it. And I was able to get all the service records from the time it was bought from the original owner all the way up till when I got it. And that thing is amazing. And like it was the better bang for the buck, because I could have bought my friend's Tacoma from him, and he would have given me a better deal, but he ended up selling it for like $7,000 above Kelly Blue Book because someone wanted it so bad. So yeah. Zachary Bennett, no regrets. Funny thing about that. So my friend Arnold from Norway came over to the US, did like a 2-month tour around the West Coast, like Colorado, Utah, everything. And he was finishing up in Big Bear, and he went to the tattoo parlor, and he wanted to get, he got no regrets tattooed across his shoulders. And it was like no regrets and something else. And regrets is spelled wrong, just like that, on his back. And he was like showing it off on social media, and he's like, yeah, look at this. And I was like, Arnold, you spelled that wrong. And he's like, what? Well, I was a little drunk. The tattoo guy said it was cool. He spell checked it on his phone, and so he's got this he's a doctor now, which is even more hilarious. So he's a doctor with a no regrets tattoo that's spelled wrong. So yeah. Luke TRC, get any time on Amplid boards? I haven't been on an Amplid in like 4 or 5 years. I do own a Pillow Talk. When that board came out, that board is fucking phenomenal. But yeah, I haven't been on anything. I'm going to try when I'm in Utah to hit the split board shop up out by Pau Mau. I've been talking with the owner, and he thinks that he can like give me some of his demos to take, and we'll just ship them back to him. He's really cool about that. So, I mean, I would just have to plug his shop in the review video. So we're going to see maybe about that. Like, I'm not too sure, because he does import like Francos and other stuff like that. So might be some options there for me to try some of those smaller, weirder brands. I do need to email Amplid this year and see if I can get that. So yeah. Let's see. Let's see what's good. Let's see. What else we got? Eric Kim, what's your opinion on Dew Tour moving to copper? Didn't it bring a lot of money in? No. Dew Tour did not bring any money into Breckenridge. Like, that is a fabled myth. So 90% of the snowmaking budget for the mountain of Breckenridge had to go to Freeway to build the half pipe and do the course pretty much. And so all the snowmaking would go there. So the rest of the mountain would get neglected. So they were able to open more of the mountain on Breckenridge. Now, in terms of the town, no, it never... It just didn't bring people in. Like, Dew Tour weekend, the only reason, like when I was working in the liquor store, we would make money on Dew Tour weekend is all the TMs I knew would come there to buy booze from me because I would give them a better deal than anywhere else in town. So they like knew that they could come in and I'd hook them up. So like I'd see Stillman and the guys from Rome. I'd see people from Burton. I'd see people from all these different brands coming in to see me, and we would have a pop. But by and large, Dew Tour does not bring money in. It is not – it's cheap asses. It brings cheap asses that want to stand around in the base area, watch. They'll bring their own booze. They bring their own food. And then when it's over, they get in the car and they just fucking leave. They don't – no, Dew Tour is not a cash cow. Let's see. Trevor Sender, have you ever looked into the Power Pass? Picked mine up for $350 this summer, and I think it's probably the best pass for the money with the bonus days it gives you at non-Power Pass. I don't even know what the Power Pass is at all. I've got an Icon, an A-Basin, and I bought that $200 Indy Pass, which gives you now – they just added 2 more resorts. So it's 46 resorts, 2 days at each resort. I bought that, but I bought that because I'm going to Idaho and Montana, and I want to hit like those, and it'll break down to like I think I'll pay like $33 a day to ride at some of these little resorts, which is nothing. So yeah. Let's see. Taylor Willis, any chance you would start a retro tech series for a snowboarder needs of the internet? No, I don't care about retro. Like, here's the thing. If you want to live in the past, and this is the problem I find with snowboarding right now, is a lot of people are trying to live in the past. It was better when the boards were better back then. This was better. This was better. Dude, we've got 3 resorts that don't allow us now. Boots are fucking phenomenal. Like, even in the last 5 years, boots have gotten better. I don't want to go ride an Airwalk half-pipe boot from 1994 ever again. I don't care for that. And then all these guys that are out there, midlife crisis, buying old boards, and then they don't ride them, or they ride them one day a year. That's not my thing. That'll never be my thing. If that's your thing, fine. Go do it. And actually, like with the 20 Questions podcast, which the audio one is up on Podbean, we got a question about this, Kevin and I did. And the video segment should come out sometime in the next week. I don't know. I'm trying to stack a bunch of video clips so I can actually have like 10 days off so I don't go fucking insane because all I ever do is work on this stuff now. Let's see. Oh, let's see. What else we got going on here? I feel like we're caught up on those questions. Tron, your reviews are on the Wired website. You're big time. Just bought a directive. Fucking stoked. Ride next week. Oh, Rob is awesome. Like I've worked with Rob for a couple years now and shit. Like before he was at Wired, and Rob gets that. Like I'm helping drive stuff with those reviews, but he also gets like the feedback and everything like that. Plus the Wired boards are just good. Well, the Swallowtail could use some work. That was really weird. That board I thought would be better than it was. That was like not the best board, but the Vantage and the Directive are fucking phenomenal. Super Dave Hangry, what's going on with Stepchild? Are they still fuck, dude? I don't think they are. I think like they merged Stepchild into Public now. I don't know. Anytime I've ever had to deal with someone from Stepchild, it's like dealing with a redheaded stepchild that might be inbred. It's just fucking painful. I don't think they're in business anymore. Cosmos 86. Hi. What boots, despite the fit, are the best or would be the best if they fit right, based on tech materials? So pretty much everyone's making a solid boot, except Rosnell. Rosnell needs to go revamp their boots, but and Deluxe are just fucking bulky and old style. Like they need to change. They need an overhaul. If they overhauled all their molds, which would be really expensive, but if they overhauled everything that they did, they could have a lighter weight boot. But almost everyone's making great fucking boots these days and putting a lot of technology and design into it. Like anything that's in about like the 250 price range, like 239, 249 and up range, those boots are phenomenal. It's when you're looking at stuff that's like 150, 180, that's when they're a little questionable at best. Oh, okay. You guys want story time with Uncle Avran? Oh my God. Really don't. Let's see. What do we want to talk about today? I don't know. I'm going back to New York. I think I might make a mini documentary about this. And I'm thinking about going around to every shop I was fired from and just interviewing the owners for it. I think it would be really funny to like interview Mike from the boardroom and be like, "Why'd you fire me?" Because it's a bullshit reason to begin with. I got blamed for something that I never even did. Someone else did. It wasn't even me. And he fired me for it, then tried to call my other job and get me fired from it, then denied it. Then he tried to fight me in a bathroom at Holiday Valley one time. And then the funny thing is people will come from Western New York and move out here and they'll hit me up and they'll be like, "Iron Mike says what's up." And I was like, that dude fucking hates me. I don't give a fuck about him. His shop could go out of business for all I care. Fucking gave it to his silver spoon-fed kids. But it would be funny to like go talk to Kim and Miguel from Mud, Sweat, and Gears. I fucked. That was my fault kind of on that one. I kind of fucked up. But I think Mike from the boardroom kind of had a hand in me getting fired from that one. But it would be funny to go interview them or go talk to my old boss Moose at the depot because I got fired because this fat chick. Like it was the end of the season. It was early. I was like, "Hey, you want to?" She was my assistant manager. I was the store manager. I was like, "You want to close up tonight?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Cool. I'm gonna get out of here early. There's nothing going on." Like wrote down my hours and left. And I showed up the next day and my key had been like changed and Moose had like put all my stuff out front and was like, "Yeah, I heard you quit," and walked out. And that was like never the case. But I think it'd be really funny to go around and like interview all my old bosses while I was there and film it and just be like, because it's so funny to like anytime I go back there and I explain what I'm doing and like everything and they're like, what? Or like go talk to my old boss, Brian, at Holiday Valley when I worked in the rental shop there. Because Brian took good care of me. Brian was probably like one of the best bosses. Him and Donna Wooderick, my night boss there, rest her soul, that woman looked out for me like I was her own kid. But they went to bat numerous times that I should have been fired. Like, actually, I'll give you guys a great story. And Donna Wooderick, that's what her nickname was, Don Woo. So this was about a week after I had torn my spleen, before I had ruptured it. So I was super injured, and I was working day shift, which is what I did because my friends were still in high school, because I was 19 and they were like 15, 16, 17, stuff like that. So they were younger than me. So like I'd pick them up after school and we'd go shred. So anyways, Buffalo Ski Club comes, or one of the inner city Buffalo kid groups comes down. They're not like inner city, like the spoiled little rotten, or the not the spoiled little rotten ones. That's a different group. That's like Narden Academy. But no, it was like this group of kids. They were like middle class, but they were inner city middle class. Like they're Buffalo, so they're kind of dicks. You know, they're like not quite in the hood. Because the kids that came from the hood were great. Because like every day they'd come in, they're like, "Mister, I need my sticks," and I was like, "I got your sticks, buddy. Here you go." But no, so there's like this group of fucking city kids that came down, and they have a bunch of kids that have like emotional issues and shit, and some of them are just fucking assholes to begin with. So there's this kid, and I was working the boot section just to help, and I was like getting him boots. He sized it like a size 8, and so I think I put him in a 9 because he was bitching. He kept coming back, and eventually they put him in a size 13, and he was a little shit. He was like a little shit. So the end of the day comes, and they're returning their equipment, and I'm behind the counter, like just walking by, and the kid throws his skis over the counter and hits me with them. And I turn around and I'm like, what the fuck? So I yell at him and he scurries off. And I'm like walking behind the boot counter, and the kid throws the boot at me and hits me with it, like right on my right side where my spleen, that's inflamed because my spleen's like the size of a football because I tore it and we didn't know it. And so he hits me with it. And he's like, haha, I pick that size 13 up by the toe and I heave it like a tomahawk and I hit him right square in the head. Full blown, like boom. He drops like a ton of bricks. I reach over the counter, and the counter is like chest high, so it's like 4.5, 5 feet. Just I climb over, reach, I grab him, and I pull. And this kid was like 12 years old and probably 180, 200 pounds. I just drag him over and slam him into the concrete, and then I grab all the boots and I just chuck him on him. And he just hit him with him. And he's sitting there and he's all stunned. I was like, now pick him up, bitch. So he picks him up, and I was like, put him away the right way. And I lay into him. And I'm laying into him, and his teacher advisor comes over. And I was like, we've had a problem with him all day. He's been kind of a shit to the other guys here, and he's been a dick. And I was like, he assaulted me. And I don't have a problem taking him outside and beating his ass if you want me to. And I told the teacher this. He's like, no, his mom's here. We'll get her involved. And I was like, okay, well, go take him away from there and just keep him away from me. Put him in timeout, do whatever. So he's there. So the mom comes over, and I explain to her, and she's like, oh, I'm really sorry. And she goes over to him, and I look over, and the kid fucking smacks his mom. Like, I don't even mean open palm. Like, he's got like a half fist, and he hits her in the face. And I lose my shit on him. And I go over, push him on the ground, and step on him. And I was like, how do you like it? And I look at the woman, and I was like, is your husband not in the picture? Does this kid not understand this? Like, what's going on with this? And she's like, no, this is a normal thing. And you're the first person that's ever stood up to him. Most people just back down when he has a tantrum. He's not used to this. He always gets his way, and I always give it to him. And I was like, well, you want me to take him outside and I'll beat him with a rubber hose? You can give me $10. 5 minutes of me smacking him around with a rubber hose. He'll be straight afterwards. I don't give a shit. I was like, child services won't be called because, well, there won't be any mark on him. I was like, I could hit him with a phone book a couple times if you really want. So I step off of him, and I was like, you need to get your shit together. Apologize to your mom right now. I made him apologize. I was like, you tell her you love her. And you go sit over there and be a little bitch. So I'm sitting there, and about like 10 minutes, he comes walking up to me, and he's like, I feel like you need to apologize to me. And I was like, excuse me? What? What did you say? Well, you were rude, and you need to apologize. I was like, I need to apologize to you. You fucking threw a boot at me. You threw skis at me. You've been rude to 5 other people that work here. You smacked your mom in front of me. I watched you push your teacher. I was like, you're lucky I don't take you outside and put you in the river. I'll fucking drown your ass. I don't give a shit about you. You're nothing to me. I don't even have to be nice to you. This is me being nice to you. You're being a little shit. And so he's sitting there, and his mom comes up, and she's like, did you apologize to him? And I looked at her and go, oh, he was supposed to apologize to me? Let me tell you what he did. And I laid into her and him, and she's like, well, I'm so sorry. I was like, it's not your fault. You're a shitty parent, and your kid clearly needs some fucking help, and you can't give it to him. But if this is how he acts, and it seems that this is how he acts everywhere he goes, you should understand, and you should tell him, I'm this close to just taking him outside and beating his ass, and I don't really give a shit. He's fat and out of shape. He's not going to last like 2 minutes with me. And this kid is starting to cry. And I laid into him, and I'm just like in his face. And I was like, you ever treat your mom? And it was funny because the teacher watched the whole thing, and I figured I was getting fired. And so they talked to my boss, Donna, and she's just like, you got to understand, this is how Donna talked. Avran, what did you do? And I mean, like, cigarettes, just chain smoking, you know, love Donna, but like chain smoker, like probably smoked a carton since she was like 9. And she's just like, you can't be doing that. So about like 3 days goes by, and we get email sent into the Tower of Power, and it was from the teacher, and it was specifically about me and the situation. And they apologized, and they said it was amazing what I did because that kid had been so well behaved since then. I put the fear of fucking God into that kid. And they were like, he was not a problem. And when they came back the next year, the kid apologized to me and was probably one of the most polite kids I'd ever seen. And his mom said, he's been a lot different since then. So it's pretty fucking hilarious, to say the least. But yeah. So yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. So there we go. Let's see what else we got going on here. And that is also why I hate fat little skier kids, just so everyone understands. Like, I fucking hate them. Yeah. Actually, when I worked that job, I had a few kids, like, always try to pick fights with me. I had another kid actually hit me in the stomach one time when I was walking through the lodge for whatever reason. He was being a little shit. And he's like, you can't do anything because you work here. And I had, like, my employee uniform. Fucking straight throat punched him. Just like in front of his friends and everything, just hit him square in the throat. He hit the ground. He's like 16 years old, and he's just like sitting there. And I was like, what are you going to do now? And then everyone was like, Avran, you can't hit them. And I was like, what are you going to do? Fire me? You need me. And that was it. And that was the end of it right there. Didn't even get a reprimand. I've never understood how come, like, I've had multiple jobs where I've, like, throat punched people or thrown them on the ground or done something and been totally fine when these people are just so out of hand and they're abusing people. It's amazing. Yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what's going on. Biagio Catile, favorite mountain on the East Coast? None. I'm not looking forward to being on the East Coast for 10 days. Let's see. Let's see. Sean C. Powderhorn opened today. Pretty dope that they opened Friday the 13th. Did they get hit with the same storm we did? Because if they did, they probably had some sweet powder out there. Like, fuck. I want to hit Powderhorn on a POW day. Like, that is really an impressive little mountain for what it is. Like, that one steep section on the far right. Fucking phenomenal. KT Avran just came back from indoor snowboarding, New Jersey's big snow. Okay, for what it is. What's your take on this possible new trend? I think we actually need this here. This is something that I think makes total sense. It's bigger in Europe, but I think if you market it right and you put it in the right area, it'll actually create more snowboarders because people will be like, oh, it's Friday. Fuck it. We're going shredding for happy hour for 3 hours, you know, and you go shred and then they just hit the après at the bar and then they take off all their gear and they go to the beach. You know, I don't know. It makes sense. I mean, it's also a monument of consumerism, in my opinion, and a sign of the times. But I think I think it's actually really cool. I want to go visit my friends in Jersey and go shred that place and check it out. Tron, dentists keep the industry alive. No. Dentists keep companies alive, or companies that want to make high-end boards alive. Dentists, I love dentists. I've convinced that dentists save every other industry. Making a movie, get dentists to back it. You're a NASCAR driver, get a dentist. Like, you know, everything like that. So, yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing some questions here. No, I think we're kind of caught up on questions there. All right. Trick. Unions suck. They won't send any out for review. That's not true. George Kleckner from Union and I have been talking. We're trying to just I fall through the cracks is what it is, because they never have the samples they need to do that. So but yeah, no, Union at some point will definitely get some unions in here. So yeah. Great American Buffalo, do you think it's possible to get a helmet to fill with bees for fat little skier shits like that in the infamous Nick Cage movie? You mean the Wicker Man remake, which is god-awful? God. The bees! The bees! Watch the original with Michael Caine. Way better. But, no. Here's what we got to do. I feel like if we just drilled a hole in a Ruroc, we could just, like, funnel the bees right in there. And that would do it. And then we would kill a Ruroc person. Although I feel bad. That's like torture and abuse to the bees. And bees mean well. We should use yellow jackets, because those are fucking assholes. Carly Elfie, have you ever snowboarded in Iowa? No, but I drove through there last year and it was awful. I don't know how people live there. I would do meth. Josh Hill, you real question. You spelled question wrong, but Captain Mercury or Jones Ultra Mountain Twin. So the Ultra Mountain Twin will be way stiffer than the Captain Mercury. The Ultra Mountain Twin will be more on par to the Super DOA than anything like that. So you're really looking at two different kinds of boards right there. I mean, they're both all mountain, but one's going to be like fucking stiff and more aggressive, and the other one's going to be like more your rad dad one. Let's see. Let's see. Maxim Boucher, Avran, the big brother of all the stupid kids. You should make the reality TV show. No, dude. I was the big brother to all the kids that have done awesome things in their life. Like, most of my friends from New York that I snowboarded with were way younger than me. They were like 5 years younger than me, but like that's kind of how it is there. Like all my friends were like 5 years older than me. So it was like Randy and Adam, and those guys that brought me up in snowboarding were older than me. And then I did the next generation underneath me. But I mean, those kids, I love all those kids. Like it was crazy growing up where I did in New York. I mean, we ran that fucking mountain every day after school. Like you'd see a pack of like 40 just rabid snowboarders just hitting everything in its path. Fucking, it was crazy. Because I can remember, like, even if we didn't like certain people in our group, like, if anyone outside the group fucked with one of them, there'd be, like, 40 of us coming down on them. It's fucking crazy. Super crazy. Water bottle, Newport extra filter. Oh, God. Oh, oof. I think she was smoking, like, Seneca's extra filters. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Any more questions I'm missing here? Kel Mitchell, have you ever shredded in Michigan in the lower peninsula? It's mostly sub 300 vert shit. I've heard some of the resorts in the UP are pretty good. Hoping to make a trip up there this year. I haven't ridden in Michigan, but I got a lot of friends from there. If you're going to the UP, you got to go to like Boyne. That's like, is it Boyne? Is it? What the fuck is the one that gets all the powder? Is that Boyne? Can't remember. I think that's Boyne though. No, it's not Boyne. What the fuck is it? It's that one that, like, it actually has backcountry, or as much backcountry as you can have in Michigan. I don't know. Like, I like the idea of those 300-foot hills, like for nostalgia purposes, but also for like hot laps, because you can just do so many hot laps and stuff. And there's a lot of people that actually support me from Michigan, which is really awesome too. Michigan, like, if I did go to Michigan, it would be like the Grand Rapids area to go see the guys at Marhar, and maybe like Traverse City to go see Eric, the designer from GP87 and stuff like that, and kind of just tool around. But like, it's just so out of my way to go there. Let's see. Let's see. Sam Dugan, have you ridden the Dinosaurs Will Die Geeves since your last review of it? I'm a big dude who likes to ride Park City, currently on a 57 Twin Pig, but have been eyeing up the Geeves lately. It hasn't changed. Last time I talked to Gino and Dylan and Jeff, they told me it hadn't changed. So I assume that's pretty accurate to where it's at. Trevor Sender, have you ridden anywhere in New Mexico? The resorts aren't great, but I've never been anywhere else that snowboarders outnumber skiers in the way they do here, which is really funny because Taos has only been allowing snowboarding for like 6 years or 8. No, probably closer to 10 now. No, that's on the list. I think when I get back from New York, I'm going to go down to Taos and Red River and check it out, and I might shoot over to Arizona and go hit like Snowbowl and shit and just make like a 4-day trip or something. I'm not sure. And go kind of scout around down there. But I've not ridden in New Mexico. I've driven through, looked at some of the stuff. I do want to get down to Taos, like that's on there. Michael Anderson, started snowboarding at 35. Are there things simply out of reach, i.e. cliff drops, 360s? I want to be realistic. 360s are super easy. Like, everyone assumes you got to go hit like a 25-foot jump to do a 360. You can do a 360 on a side hit and be happy with it. That's it. Cliff drops? What size cliff drop are you worried about? Are you talking 5 foot or 50 foot? 50 foot? You could probably still do it at 35 if you're still in shape. It's all perception and stuff. Like with me, my issue at 37 is I have no cartilage in my knees anymore. I have to be realistic about how I ride and how I do things, and to keep myself proactive and whatnot. If you think you can do it, go do it. If you think you can't do it, don't do it. I mean, know your limits, know what you got to do, but you should scare yourself at least once a day on a snowboard. Like today, I totally fucking scared myself. I thought I was going to eat shit in the flattest pow ever. Went to do a nose butter on the Archetype, popped it around frontside 180, landed on the nose, went to butter it back around like nose roll, hooked right under my front binding and started to go down. And then I ended up walking backwards, like flexing from front foot, back foot, trying to catch it, and probably did that for like 30 feet and was able to save the thing. Scared the shit out of me. I didn't want to fall in that flat section. I'd have to fucking hike out. That would fucking suck. And it was like mid-thigh deep. That's a workout. And I'm lazy. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah, Mount Bohemia is the one in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan I was thinking of, not Boyne. I knew it began with a B. Paul Cummins, any chance you'll get on a full bag super knot? Nope. Not even going to waste my fucking time with that company. The owner of the company is a pain in the ass to deal with. And if he was trying to make me jump through all these hurdles, like I needed to do this for him and I had to do this for him, and he was such a pain in my fucking ass, I don't give a fuck. He'll sell the boards that he wants because he's got a unique shape. They could be great. They could be horrible. I don't know. I'm not going to fucking deal with it. If I have to deal with that much bullshit, what's a customer going to have to deal with when something goes wrong and isn't easy for that guy? Oh, fuck it. I don't give a shit about that brand. J58, follow up on the Thraxis. Now drives as a size 10. Mediums are super tight. Would moving to a large going to be too loose? Saw you reviewed them in a medium. What about narrower hanger 1.0 in the large? So that's the thing with nows. It depends on which hangers in there they fit. Like the ones I had, they fit fine. I didn't have any issues. There's like maybe a little heel rub in one spot on my boot. But I've also been in ones where I'm like, oh my God, I can't even get it in with a 10. Like that's the problem with the 10 is like, if it's that hanger 1.0 or 2.0, sometimes it just doesn't fit. It's kind of like with Rome, I can fit in the medium larges and the large extra larges. It's funny, the 10 fits in both of them absolutely perfect. So like the medium, so like I have a set of medium and large black labels, and I have a set of large extra larges in the black label, and it fits in both of them equally. Like it's so weird. So yeah. Let's see. Carly Elfie, Vale should give you a yellow coat. You are qualified. I'm overqualified. No, they hire the least qualified people to be yellow jackets. 5 days on snow in your lifetime, you get to tell people that have been riding for their whole life that they're out of control. That's how that works. So like the less qualified you are, the more likely you are to get that job. So yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Trevor Sender, have you ever dealt with snow planks? I rode the lift with one of the owners at Bachelor like 2 years ago, and he was a huge douche to me. I dealt with them, and they were cool at first, and then they started just getting more and more dickish. Like, I told them, I was like, yo, I'm going to have this board for like 3 months. Like, you got to be prepared for this. And they were fucking like on my ass, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do. I was just like, fine, fucking take it back. Boards are fucking heavy. I mean, it's a cool concept and all, but I mean, they're not the end all be all. I've ridden way better shit. So yeah. Let's see. Lonnie G, I have Solomon boots that fit my feet and fit my knees, but feet really cramp up. Any answers? Okay, so first off, do you have an aftermarket insole? That's the big one right there, because what could be happening is you're not getting enough arch support, so your arches are collapsing in there as well. That could be it. You could have a potassium deficiency as well, or you could have an unknown pressure point in there that you feel is like, this is how it's supposed to fit, and it actually isn't. It's putting too much pressure on there. It could also be that your bindings are just putting too much pressure over the instep, and you might just have to move them up or down if you can, based on the placement of the tray. So yeah. Let's see. Zachary Bennett, is Canadian snowboarding worth the trip? Depends on where you go. There's some great places in there, and there's some places that are like blown out and shit. Like, been to Whistler a few times. It's not like the end all be all to me. I probably would never go. If I never went back, I'd be okay with that, which I probably never will because Vail owns them. But I would really like to check out Revelstoke and stuff like that. So yeah. Dominique Austin, do you think the Never Summer Funslinger 2020 is a step up from the GNU Carbon Credit? No. I think that board's crap. So yeah. Let's see what's up. Water bottle opinion on Moonchild. So you're the or Jor, or however you pronounce. I'm awful with those Scandinavian names. He and I have actually talked. He wants to try to get me one or two for review. I love his shapes. Like I feel like those shapes are fucking phenomenal, and some of them are just funny, like the popsicle. I'd love to ride one of his decks and really check it out. That's a brand that I think, even though it's like more expensive and shit, it's definitely a brand that I think is like doing cool shit. I don't know how they ride, but I would love to. Nato the Potato, when are we going to see superfan Alan Russell on the channel? So Alan had surgery today. I believe, to remove a tumor from his head or something like that. But so he's recovering. Otherwise, he was going to try to be in the chat tonight. I hit him up, but he's like recovering. So unfortunately, that no, Alan. We'll probably do an interview with him when I stop to see him in Utah. Like Alan and I are homies, so stop out, see him, ride pow mow, whatnot like that. You know, maybe I'll just give him Kevin's phone number and then record him calling Kevin randomly. I don't know. But yeah, Alan's having some health issues right now. He couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately, but I think he's going to be okay. Hopefully. God, I hope he is. So yeah. Whew. Rob Gims, Avran, all mountain free ride, Gucci Pro Camber, Kazu Pro, Mercury, or flagship thoughts. So Mercury, if you're going all mountain free ride, Mercury would be the lowest one on the list. The way I would put it would be Kazu would be the stiffest. Then flagship Gucci would be about the similar. I think the flagship might be just a hair stiffer than the Mercury on there. If we're talking edge hold, it's going to be flagship Gucci, Kazu, Mercury. If we're talking like the most domineering, like badass fucking hard charger, like you're going to feel it at the end of the day, that's the Kazu for sure. See what's going on. Let's see. I think I'm missing some questions here. No, maybe I'm not. I think we might be close to caught up. So, what else? Oh, did that question? I think we're kind of caught up on questions here. Richard Hurleman, hi, Angry. On a personal level, seems 99.9% of nerds on the hill piss you off. What does it take for you to bring a fellow boarder into your circle? Is it skill or character? If you got to ask, you ain't coming in the circle. That's how it is. More so, I think my friends have realized I'm not going anywhere, so they just sort of let me be around, and that's kind of how it is. I don't talk to a lot of people. Like, realistically, my friend circle is very, very minuscule. Like, a lot of people tell you they're friends with me. Those are not my friends. They also probably pronounce my name wrong, that's a dead sign. Like, when someone mispronounces my name and they say they've known me for years, they're not a close friend or anything by any means. So, no, the close circle, it's usually happenstance. It's like my neighbor and I used to hate each other. This is before we were even neighbors, right? Used to hate each other. Used to argue he was a pro snowboarder, and we would argue about the aesthetics of filming, because he's like a VX guy and shit like that and skate. And I'm like, it looks like garbage. That blown out fisheye looks like garbage. Like, make it more cinematic, make it this. And we would argue back and forth. And I get where he's coming from and stuff, but we just did not see eye to eye. And then one day we were just talking about something else, and we were like, that's fucking stupid. I was like, yeah, that's stupid. And now we're neighbors, and like I go over and hold his baby and shit, and I like check on his dogs, and you know, like I'm trying to set up a little trust fund for their child and shit. Like, he's my nephew, and you know, like little baby Waylon and shit like that. And it's so crazy. Like, he and I, it just like, we just sort of wore each other down, and we're just like, this is stupid. Let's just be friends. And now we're just friends. And that's kind of how it goes. Maxim Boucher, brands advertising boards for carving sold with factory detuned edge. Isn't it wrong somewhere? Not necessarily. I mean, what are we talking? Are they talking they ran a file over it like 2 times, just enough to take the edge bite off so it's not as aggressive? It really comes down to it. Most people, in all honesty, wouldn't even notice if you detune their board. Like, they just won't even notice. I've come to the conclusion I could put like a 5-degree bevel on their base. They wouldn't even notice. They'd just be like, oh, it's just not as grippy today. So, yeah. Chick Van, what in the Arbor line would you recommend as an upgrade to the Yes Basic for intermediate all-mountain freestyle riding in Australia? I'd go to the Westmark, personally. That would be like the direction that I would go. I mean, you could go with the Coda for all-mountain freestyle riding, but you're in Australia, so let's be honest, you're riding chipped ice. That's why I think the Westmark would be like a better option. Plus, you get the option of camber or reverse camber. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Kale Mitchell, is Alan actually raping you, or is that a joke? At this point, the meme has gone so deep, I can't tell. I'm not going to tell you. Maybe he's silently stalking you now. You don't know. Alan's killed people with his bare hands. He's also retrieved body parts. He's been blown up. He's done some cool shit. Alan's a G. He's a goddamn national hero in my mind. But I'm not going to tell you if he's rapey or not. Maybe he wants to wear Kevin. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just wants to turn him into his own personal ventriloquist dummy. Who knows? But when we do our meetup at Powder Mountain, which I'm still working that out, hopefully, Alan will be there. And everyone can meet Alan. Love that man. Let's see what's going on here. Adam Roman, what do you think of the Solomon first call? So the first call is essentially the old powder snake, revamped, basically tweaked a little bit. It's like, what is it? I think it's like $100 cheaper than the 6 sticker, the Asmo HPS or something like that. It might be $200 cheaper. It's cheaper, I think, if I remember correctly. That's actually a solid powder board. Like Solomon actually, as much as I don't give them much love, they actually make really good powder boards. Like they always have. Like that's the one thing they've got fucking dialed better than like anything else. Like they really know powder boards. Yeah. Let's see. TSPO, what boards do you own and ride? So I own. Oh, okay. Fuck. All right. Let's go through the list. So I got the Shark Bite. K2 Jib Pan, which is my fuck around like opening day only board. Got Telos Backslash, which I ride that probably more than most things. I got a K2 Cool Bean, I actually ride that a fair amount. Endeavour Archetype, Swallowtail, was riding that today because it fucking demanded it. Because if you didn't have something like normal width, you didn't have a tail to push off of, you would fucking die today. I got 2 Interior Plane Project Honolese, that I ride for like half pipe and stuff like that if I want camber underfoot. I think I'm debating, like I've got this Capita simulator sitting here and I got to email them. I keep forgetting to email them to get a call tag to send that back. I'm debating buying that from them, but I also thinking about buying this Rome Warden just because I just need something soft and playful with camber in there. Then I've got an old Mark Morissette Type A that my brother pressed when he worked at the factory that was pressing Type A's back in the 90s. I know it was his because the base graphic is backwards and my brother's dyslexic. Then I've got a 159 K2 Travis Parker Scorpicus Nauticus that sits there. I've got a Never Summer Summit Swallowtail. It's one of 2 in the world. So I've got that. I've also got test board number 8, which is a Never Summer SL, which is the very first iteration of their RC technology that I was there when they were building it, and I helped design and give them the feedback on that. So there's that. I got Amplid Pillow Talk, which is my rock board now, and I'm about to give away my Dinosaurs Will Die Brewster to my friend Jordan. That's going to be out of here soon. I got like 2 Gilsons floating around that I don't fucking ride, but they're there because I like to laugh at them every time I see them. I've got that Rosnell Mini too. And then one of our supporters from Patreon gave us a LibTech banana hammock for Can Kevin Carvett, and we've got that still sitting here too. So that, but I mean, I think I'm like 3-4 weeks away from having like 100 and 200 boards fucking land here soon. So it's fucking insane how much shit comes through my door. Yeah. Let's see. Rob Gams, Avran, bibs or pants? I'm a pants guy. I don't like bibs. I just you got to shit really quick, man. That's a lot of stuff to get through to take a shit. That's where I'm at. So yeah. Okay. Andrew Fisher, what's the most fun sub 1,000 foot mountain hill you rode? Well, if we're going for like all time, it'll be Holiday Valley, New York, because I grew up there. Like I always had. I mean, I made the most out of that place for years growing up, from like 15 to 22 when I moved. So no, was it? Yeah, I was 22 when I moved the second time. So yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah. Trevor Sender, have you seen or ridden any of the Chronic boards? A few of my buddies ride for them, and the boards look horrid, but I haven't tried them. They're just fucking Never Summers with really shit ass graphics. Like, it's like the lowest end Never Summer. It's like the old Never Summer molds, and just I'm not gonna ride a turd, dude. Like, I look at those things and I'm like, yeah. I think the company owner might have reached out to me, and I just told him I wasn't interested. Like they're a fucking joke of a brand. It's someone's hobby. It's not a real brand. Their graphics look like something that would have been in Cool Borders 2 and the design your own graphic pre-made images for the board. Like, that's what it reminds me of. Francis Jacob Turn again. You ever get your gear ripped off at the resorts? Thinking about biting the bullet and buying a lock. So before I had my car, what I would do when I take the bus is I'd take 2 full setups with me with a backpack and everything, and I'd have a board lock, and I would lock up the other board for the afternoon. So I'd have my morning board and my afternoon board. So I'd go out and cruise for like 2 hours, get like 20 laps, and then swap it out, and then ride the afternoon on the afternoon board and lock the morning board up. Dude, you can get those little retractable cable locks. That's like the biggest deterrent for most people, because like, if they're going to want to get out of it, they're going to be reefing on it. You put it someplace where everyone can see it. It's going to draw attention. That's it. So you lock it up where someone can see it, and you just go and do it. It makes total sense. So from that, yeah. Will Kelly, where should I go ride if I'm going to Colorado for the last week of December and I'm looking for powder? Head to Aspen. You got 4 mountains to choose from down there. It's not going to be as crowded as like Vail, Beaver Creek, Breckenridge, or any of that. Or head up to Steamboat. Or if you really want to, you could head down to like Durango area or something like that as well. But I would say head to Aspen for sure. Paul Falconbridge, 5 a.m. here in Cornwall, UK. I've just got up. Have I missed story time? If not, please, Uncle Avran, can we have one of your stories? You've missed a few stories tonight, bud. And as we're almost 2 hours in, I don't really know if I've got any more for tonight. Yeah, you missed me beating up the fat little rental skier kid when I worked in a rental shop when I was a teenager. That's a fun one. I think did that about a half hour ago. So if you scroll back, you can probably find it. Half hour, 45 minutes ago, whatever it was. So, yeah. Vincent Friera. Thoughts on spring break snowboard, specifically the Mini Tree Hunter, if you have any experience on it. They have some unique shapes. I haven't ridden the Mini Tree Hunter. I need to get on that. The big thing is always look at the cores in them. I've kind of realized like they always seem to put like a lighter weight core in there than they should. And I've just had friends that have broken stuff, not the Tree Hunter, but other ones. So always look at that. Let's see. Let's see what else is going on. S2000 guy, go-to meal to start the day before shredding. I actually don't eat in the morning usually. It's just kind of how I do things. If I do, it's like a banana, apple. If I get to the mountain, like after I've stretched, because I drive to Copper or A Basin, usually it's Copper is where I get food. I go into Camp Hale and I'll grab like a blueberry muffin and hop on the gondola, chow that down, and then tighten my boots and shit. I usually wake up at about 7. I'm at the mountain by 9, so that's 2 hours there. If anything, I eat like a banana and drink some water and shit. Take my pills and my vitamins and the ibuprofen, 500 milligram ibuprofen. Then I go on a ride till like 12:30, 1 o'clock, maybe a little bit longer. And then on my way out, I'll stop at the taco joint or something. Or if I'm like at A Basin, sometimes I'll drive down to Qdoba and get a burrito, or I just come home and go to one of my favorite restaurants and grab happy hour or something. But that's it. Like I don't really eat breakfast, which everyone says is bad, but for me, it just seems to work. Let's see. Let's see. Think I'm catching up, so I'm going to take 5 more questions if you guys got them, and then I'm going to dip out because we're coming up on 2 hours, and it's 10 o'clock, so I got an hour to go get myself a pizza. S2000 guy. Ooh, speaking of that, places to grab breakfast near Copper and A Basin. So A Basin, I believe you're staying in Dillon or close to it there. Go to the Arapahoe Cafe in Dillon. I don't eat beef anymore, but the smoked brisket is amazing because they smoke it themselves, or not just the smoked brisket, but the corned beef hash. They smoke it themselves. The breakfast is fucking phenomenal. It's probably one of the best breakfasts in town. If you're talking about near Copper, Butterhorn on Main Street in Frisco, I really like Butterhorn. You could go to Log Cabin. I've never been to Log Cabin, but I've had friends that say it's pretty decent. But I like Butterhorn because they bake everything right there, so it's good. Dominique Austin, when are you going to do a 2020 top 5 all mountain board? Already did it, bud. Where you been? Did it. We had top 5 week going into Black Friday. There's top 5 all mountain board, men's and women's. James Styles, are those newer bullshit forum boards still being sold? I saw the ones Burton released a year or so ago, and remember you guys mentioned someone else was using their name to market something garbage. There's no other. Burton's the only one that's got the forum boards that were out. So those were actually legit, like, Burton forums. It was the special blend outerwear and Foursquare you got to watch out for. Like, that guy's still selling stuff. He left a comment on my website, and he was like, I've sold hundreds of thousands of dollars because you mentioned this, and I would have given you money. And I was like, you didn't sell shit, dude. I know my people. They didn't buy anything. So, yeah. There you go. Matt Heffron, when are you going to ship the stickers? Those went out 2 or 3, 4 days ago. They went out. I know that much. I dropped them off. I put them in. So your stuff should be in there. So for anyone that hasn't gotten it, like, they went out. My post office was being exceptionally lazy and tried to tell me that all their credit card readers were down, and so they couldn't take my credit card to buy stamps. Then they tried to tell me that they were having an issue ringing in the next day for cash stamps. It wasn't ringing up right. So my post office is literally run by a bunch of mongoloids. Like, mongoloids, seriously. Like, they are the most special breed of people. They've been transferred here to die. That's what it is. Like, the post office is like, well, we can't fire them because they've got a pension and a union, so we're sending them to Breckenridge, and they're here to die. That's literally it. Okay. All right. Gail Mitchell, is it worth it to move to Colorado anymore to shred, or is it a better idea to go to Montana, Utah, or Idaho? Colorado's blown out, man. Like, don't move here. It's right now the market is, this is the hot spot to be. Like, Idaho will be cheaper. Plus, you could go live in Boise, and then you got like 3 resorts right around you there and shit like that, and that'll be cheaper. Montana's starting to blow up. Utah is still expensive, depending where you go, but yeah. Solomon of Knowledge, hey, Avran, should you use stiff boots if you are riding a wider board? No, it's all personal preference. So you can ride whatever you want. Stiff boots, soft boots, it doesn't really matter. It's all personal preference. Will Kelly, what are the best Vans all-mountain boots? The best all-mountain Vans boots are the ones that fit your foot and fit your needs. So go get sized up and make sure it fits your foot and fits your needs. Maxime Boucher, would you rather have to watch the good ride reviews every day for the rest of your life or become a skier and never snowboard? I'd go with watch the good ride reviews every day for the rest of my life, because I would start a whole riff channel where all I do is Mystery Science Theater 3000, his reviews every day. Every fucking day. That's all I would do. And it would make me so much money. Let's see. The Huggy Bear 516, yo, you ever been or plan to make a Montana trip? I've actually, my boy Trevor lives in Basin, Montana, with population like 64. So I'm going up to see him, and I think we're going to Lost Trails and then Red Mountain Lodge or Red Lodge or whatever it's fucking called. So I'm going to go do 4 days in Montana, I think. And then for those two on my Indy Pass, and I'm probably also going to try to hit up, what is it, Big Sky that's on my icon. So I'll probably do like 5-6 days total in Montana and then come down through Wyoming and go to Targhee and Jackson's Hole. Xander Castro, me and my homies rode Breck today, found a few POW stashes. We are going to try to head to Beaver Creek tomorrow to avoid all the Denver heading to Keystone and Breck. Oh, no. Denver's going to Vail tomorrow because Modest Mouse is doing a free concert. Also, Vail Pass was closed today. You probably realized that too. Get up early, leave at 5 in the morning. It's still snowing out there, so conditions are going to be questionable at best. Getting up, I'm going to get up early to go shred, which I never shred on Saturdays, but this POW is too good, so I'm going to go up and shred for 2 hours and then just be done with it. But go up early, be prepared. Beaver Creek shouldn't be as crowded as Vail, but just be prepared that with a free Modest Mouse concert, it's going to be a fucking shit show. Okay. Cal mentioned, when you are traveling on these extended trips, where do you find lodging? I don't know. I'm just driving and I see a hotel and I pull in and I was like, what's the best deal you can give me tonight? And then I just pay money. When I'm in Utah, I've got a few friends out there, so I stay. My friend Liz in Park City, has got a 3-bedroom, and it's her and her cat. So her cat hates me, tries to attack me every time I'm there, and then it tries to sleep on top of me. I think it's trying to smother me. But I usually just stay with Liz. Might stay with Alan when I'm out there. But when I go to Montana, I'll stay with my boy Trevor. I know a lot of people in really random spots like Idaho. My friend Arthur said I could stay with him up there. So, yeah. There we go. All right. Well, anyways, guys, 2 hours. You got some stories. You got some advice. We kind of stayed around 100 people. I'm going to call it a night because I'm going to get up and go smash some fucking POW. Plus, I got to edit some videos. Anyways, if you haven't, check out Angry Snowboarder VIP. It's the best way to support us. Also, 18th to the 28th, it's going to be a little lackluster with content. You are going to get there'll be 2 top 5s in that time frame. There'll be 2 more Kevin Carvets, and there'll be some podcast segments and maybe some reviews. I'm trying to get stuff done, but I probably won't be answering a lot of questions online. I'm just going to be back in New York dealing with dial-up Wi-Fi, which is the scariest thing on earth. So, yeah, that's kind of it. I think in Monday we might do one more. I might do one more live stream in the afternoon just to kind of answer everyone's questions, round everything out. Otherwise, thanks for all the support. Thanks for the super chats, and I'll catch you guys in another video.